Hi guys, welcome back to Coricast. So for today's video, I will be reviewing this model. So what I got here is the Hobby Japan Subaru WRX RAR. And the RAR is Subaru's model that we're celebrating its 30th anniversary. So this was announced or released back in the 2018. Wait, yeah, it's 2018, and the reason that I'm picking this model is because, well, honestly, it's pretty cheap. I got it secondhand from a seller in Facebook, and what I got here, probably the most iconic color of the Subaru WRX. It's in the blue pearl with this small red accent in the splitter. And yeah, this model is from Hobby Japan, and Hobby Japan came with several versions of this model, and this one being the model with the engine display model accessories, which unfortunately I didn't get it from the seller. Maybe the seller sold the engine display separately from this model. So yeah, I only got the model itself and the packaging without the accessories. But hey, anyway, the model itself is still here and it's in my hand, and we are going to review it in this video. And I think starting from the packaging itself, I think this is the older Hobby Japan packaging compared to the new one, which we are going to review later, this Toyota Aristo. The new one has the HJ64 diecast model logo instead of the older Hobby Japan. And then on the side, it's pretty clear that there is no cover on each side. And on the back, we got to see the model name, the 1/64 scale Subaru WRX RAR with engine display model. So this is the variant with the engine display model, which unfortunately I didn't have it. And it was painted in this WR blue pearl, which is this color. And then this is the model code and blah blah blah. And on the bottom we got to see nothing important. So yeah, that's for the packaging, and we are going to open the packaging now and take a closer look on the model. Right, so this is what the model looks like outside of the packaging. And first thing, I want to talk about the base itself. So the base itself, it's pretty common for Hobby Japan to just have this plain black acrylic base with the model name at the front. So what we got here is the RAR STI Performance, and it was tapo printed on the base, and that's it. We don't have anything else on the base. And let's talk about the model. So the model itself, it's the 2018 model Subaru, the WRX. And for the model itself, I think this is a pretty detailed one. So wait, let me try to zoom in more. Right, that is better. So what we got here at the front, we got to see a pretty nicely done detailed by Hobby Japan. Starting from the front, we got to see this what do you call this photo etch or metal etch Subaru logo at the grill, and then we got to see the RAR dealer plate, and also there's a small STI badge on the grill itself. And then looking at the headlights, I think this is one of the best headlights I've seen from Hobby Japan. Like, you could see the DRL Tampo printed on the clear parts of the headlights, and then you got to see the orange blinker on the inside, as well as this what do you call this circle dot that was also part of the support for the headlights. And then on the bottom, we got to see these separate parts for the air intakes, and also you got to see these side canards which are glued to the castings. And for the front splitter, I think this is a one mold with the castings, but it was painted in matte black with the red accent, so it's not a separate parts. Yeah, it's not a separate parts. Maybe the red accent is a separate parts until we get a closer look underneath. But moving on to the side. So the side itself, I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good, and it has a nice proportion of the WRX, the Subaru, and it's obviously a sedan version of the Subaru. And looking at the wheels, let's talk about the wheels first. So the wheels is a black painted one with this kind of like BBS styled wheels. And honestly, it has a pretty nice stance too, but I kind of feel like the wheels itself, it seems pretty big. And but the details of the wheels, it's pretty cool. Like you could see the STI badge at the center of the wheels. You see that? Wait, why didn't it focus? Right. And then you could see also behind the wheels there is a disc brake, which are not um, kind of visible. Oh, and then moving on to the body itself, the side profile, we could see a nicely done details here at the fender. So this is probably the RAR logo. And then we get to see this side mirrors, which are carbon printed tampo, which is pretty cool, but it kind of have a big pattern. And then what else? There's nothing else to see on the side of this model. So we are going to move on with the back. So the back itself, it's similar to the front. We get to see the metal edge Subaru logo, and then we get to see the dealer plate of the RAR, and then the STI logo and the RAR emblem. And these things right here, I don't really know what this is. Um, and then for the taillights is pretty neat and also has done perfectly. So we got this red painted one for the outer parts of the taillights, and then this one, I think this one is for the side blinkers and also the um, rear lights. And then yeah, on the bottom we got to see these four exhaust tips, which are pretty nicely detailed, even though this one is slightly off-centered. Yeah, you could see that. And then on the on the rear windshield, we got to see this molded wiper and also the defogger, which is pretty nice. And also with the RAR version, we got this small spoiler at the back, and then we got to see the STI logo at the side plane of this wing or spoiler. And then on the top, we got to see the carbon tampo printed details, which is pretty cool, but I still think this is a pretty big pattern. And what else? So at the windshield, we got the same wiper mold on the glass or on the plastics. And for the interior, it's just a plain black plastic with no kind of like red accent or any other color accent for interior. So yeah, it's just a plain black. And for now, I think we are going to unscrew the base and see what's underneath of this model. Right, so this is the underneath of this model, and you could see that it turns out that the red splitter at the front of the bumper is a separate parts which are glued to the castings. And then on the back, this is the exhaust parts on the bottom with this kind of like, what is this silver thing? I don't really know. And then the model itself secured with two screws, both in the front and the rear of this base. So it makes you easier to, if you want to change the wheels or maybe do customizing more. And the wheels itself is obviously has a disc brakes. As you can see here, there's the parts that were the disc brakes. And then on the bottom, we only got to see the Hobby Japan Code Limited printing and no other name or the model name printed on the bottom. So yeah, I think that's it for this video. So this is the Hobby Japan Subaru WRX RAR, the model that were celebrated the 30th anniversary of the STI, and yeah, it was made by Hobby Japan. So yeah, I think that's it for this video, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.